For more anatomy related videos, please subscribe to my channel, Learn with Dr. Tanya Hashik.
Today we will discuss pericardium. So pericardium, it is a covering that separates the heart from all other structures in the thoracic cavity. So pericardium, it is divided into two layers, that is the outer fibrous layer and also inner serous layer. So in this you can understand that this is the outer fibrous layer of the pericardium and this is the inner serous layer. So this inner serous layer, it is again divided into parietal layer, that is the outer parietal layer and also inner visceral layer. So the outer parietal layer, it is fused with the inner part of the fibrous pericardium and the visceral layer, it is fused with the heart. So this is also called as the epicardium. So the outer layer, it is fused with the fibrous pericardium and the inner visceral layer, it is fused with the wall of the heart. So here you can see the fetal heart. So this is the fetal heart, this is the pericardial cavity and this is the fibrous pericardium. So as the heart grows, it completely fills in and the outer surface of the serous pericardium that fuses with the inner surface of the fibrous pericardium and the inner layer of the serous pericardium, it fuses with the myocardium, that is the wall of the heart. So the inner visceral layer, it fuses with the myocardium and the outer layer of the serous pericardium, it fuses with the inner surface of the fibrous pericardium. So now we will discuss about the fibrous pericardium. So fibrous pericardium, it is outermost layer of pericardium and it is made up of fibrous tissue. So it has got an apex and also a base. So apex, it is blunt and it is fused with the root of great vessels and also the base, it is inseparably blend with the middle tendon of diaphragm. So this is the base and this is the apex. So apex, it is fused with the root of great vessels and the base, it is inseparably blend with the middle tendon of the diaphragm. Anteriorly, it is attached to the upper and lower part of the body of the sternum by means of superior and inferior sternopericardial ligament. Posteriorly, it is related to the esophagus with the nerve plexus around it and also the principal bronchi and the descending thoracic aorta. So on either side, it is related to the mediastinal surface of the lungs, the mediastinal pleura, phrenic nerves and also pericardiophrenic vessels. So now we will discuss about the serous pericardium. So the serous pericardium, it is divided into two layers, that is the outer parietal layer and also inner visceral layer. So the visceral layer of the serous pericardium, it is closely attached to the wall of the heart except at grooves where it is separated by means of blood vessels. So the visceral layer, it is closely attached to the heart and it is also called as the epicardium and it is only separated at grooves where it is separated by means of blood vessels. And the two layers, that is the parietal and visceral layer of the serous pericardium, it is continuous at the root of great vessels, that is the aorta, superior inferior vena cava, the pulmonary trunk and also the pulmonary veins. At the root of these vessels, the two layers are continuous. So in between the parietal and visceral layer is the pericardial fluid. It is a thin layer of serous fluid which lubricates the surfaces and it also allows the heart to beat easily. The epicardium or the visceral pericardium at the root of the vessels, that is the root of these vessels, it forms two tubes. that is a tube around the two arteries, that is the aorta and also the pulmonary trunk, and a tube around the veins, that is the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, the pulmonary veins. So it forms the arterial tube and also the venous tube, and the space between these two tubes is the transverse sinus. So here you can see the transverse sinus. So it may not be clear, so you will get an idea what transverse sinus is. Here in this you can see this is the pulmonary trunk and this is the aorta, and in between, that is when you put your finger like this, in between you can see this transverse sinus. So this is the transverse sinus. So now we will discuss about the oblique sinus. So when the heart was small, the vessels, that is the veins, it is seen close together, but as the heart becomes bigger, these veins, it is separated, and each of these veins has a reflection of pericardium and thus result in the formation of the oblique sinus. Here you can see the oblique sinus, it is seen in between the veins. So anteriorly it is bound by the left atrium, and the posteriorly it is bound by a layer of parietal pericardium, and on either side you can see the reflection of epicardium or the visceral pericardium. So now we will discuss the contents of the pericardium. So we all know that it contains the heart, the root of major vessels, that is the superior vena cava, that is the terminal part of lower part of the superior vena cava, and terminal part of the inferior vena cava. In this figure you cannot see the pulmonary veins, the pulmonary trunk. So these are the content of the pericardium. Now we will discuss about the blood supply and the nerve supply. The blood supply, it is from the descending thoracic aorta, the thoracic artery, and also musculophrenic vessels, and veins to the corresponding veins. And the nerve supply, the fibrous and the parietal pericardium, it is supplied by the phrenic nerve, and the epicardium, it is supplied by the autonomic nerves of the heart, and it is not sensitive to pain. So this is the end of today's video.
This is the end of today's video. For more videos, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon.